guys, Malachite here, and it is time for Pajamas and Readings. And I think I am mostly in the screen on this. I need to write down the books I'm using to support the camera because I don't do that, and so every time I have to start all over again figuring out the camera height, and it takes me forever. So I'm not organized. I swear I'm still in my pajamas. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. So, I'm very, very tired. But I am in my pineapple pajamas. So, here we go with the reading. Again, for anyone who has never watched these, I am novice to the max. As in, I have just started doing oracle and tarot readings. Basically recently, for anyone that is not my roommate or myself, or maybe a teddy bear. I do get a little ruffled, I do get a little nervous, so bear with me. But I did do the reading. Today I pulled another card to go with the novice, as the novice is kind of it's not a complicated card, but you'll see what I mean when I get into this, because I know who this reading is for, and so not person, but group of people that this reading is for, and it includes me, and it makes me really nervous to go ahead and do this reading. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I've got the book, which I may actually read a few things out of, just because they say it better than I can, which I also don't tend to do. I'll take notes from the book in my notebook here, and then I might just use a couple things out of those, but usually I go by intuition first, and then I use the book, and I mesh them together. So don't expect a professional reading, because that's not what this is. This is practice for me, and hopefully you get something out of it. This week, when I pulled this card, the Novice, this is from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle Cards deck. I like to show the box. By Colette Baron Reed. I highly recommend this deck. It's my favorite Oracle deck, and I use it all the time. But I pulled the Novice. He's one of the messengers. I'm sorry. She. I always see the full when I pull this card. The fool could be a she, but in Rider-Waite, the fool is a he, so I always get confused. But she is one of the messengers of Avalon. The card says, innocence, beginner, ignorance, new skill without patience, unstable curiosity. And if you look at the card, she is definitely ready for a journey. She has her bag of provisions, her walking stick, her dog is with her, the wind is blowing, so it's definitely not going to be, you'll probably see my face, not going to be an easy journey. And the thing is, if she would just look right behind her, there's this huge old tree right behind her, this well of knowledge. If she would just turn around and start talking to this tree and ask, before bounding off on her journey, where of course she will learn, because you do learn on a journey, and she will grow. But wouldn't it be better, before you go off on a journey, to stop and learn the lesson that she could learn from the tree? So I see the tree as not just a tree. When I looked at this card and was looking at it and interpreting what I saw in the card, I saw the tree as wisdom, and I saw the tree as wisdom that you could gain from Goddess, wisdom that you could gain from someone in their crone years, wisdom that you could gain from meditation, things like that. So that's what I saw when I looked at that tree, or wisdom that you could gain from the tree if you're someone that can meditate and actually listen to trees, which I completely believe in. So that's kind of what I got from this card. And as I was sitting looking at the card, I realized that this reading was going to be for newbie pagans and newbie witches and newbie Wiccans and newbie what have you. Now, as that comes out of my mouth, I want everyone watching to hear me when I say this. I am a newbie pagan. I am a newbie witch. This reading, when I pulled it, I was like, this is for me. Why am I pulling something for me? Why am I supposed to share this? But I knew I was supposed to share it. So I am. So, like I said, I was very, very reluctant to share this because I don't want people to think that I'm high and mighty or that I'm better than anyone else because I pulled a couple cards from a deck. Because I'm not. And I'm not good at reading. So, these are just the cards I pulled from the deck, and I'm going to read them for you, and then you can do what you will with the reading. So, basically, the novice is very innocent because she's beginning out on her journey, and she might do things like do a new skill without practicing it first, which can be a little unstable. And of course, like I said, the journey's not going to be easy. So you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things like that. And that's okay, because that's going to happen. When you get into the book some more, it talks a lot about the innocence. And one of the things I liked is it talked about early knowledge that you haven't attained yet. So as you're learning, there's knowledge that you're going to attain very early that you still haven't even attained yet. There's going to be new ways that you're going to start seeing the world that you haven't attained yet. And it's going to be amazing. There are learning abilities that you are going to start developing that you haven't developed yet through meditation, through practicing maybe magics, through working with stones, through going out in nature and working with maybe fae energy, or I like to be around trees and be around tree energy. And I know it's shifting the way that I see the world. It's shifting the way that I connect not only with the world but with people. So that is definitely going to be something that will happen. And those are aspects of the novice, which are aspects of ourselves as we are new to these paths. Now, the cool thing about the novice is, you know, you hear some negative words off the card like ignorance, but ignorance isn't really a negative word. We've made it a negative word. Like, oh my God, he is so ignorant. That's not a negative word. Ignorant simply means that you do not know about something yet. So ignorance is not a negative word. People have just turned it into a negative word. So basically it just means you don't know something yet. So it's going to remind us that we're teachable, and if we're humble, if we don't know something, we're going to ask, because we're going to be humble, and we're going to be like, well, I don't know that, so why don't I ask someone? And there are tons of witches on YouTube. Let me see. Lady Grave Dancer, Ember Honey Raven, Sunshine Morning Ray, Brenda Crozier, in no particular order. Those are 4 off the top of my head that are open all the time to questions. Now, you can't just go to them and go, I want to be Wicca, what do I do? there's books for that. But if you have a specific question that you want to do, maybe a spell, or you don't understand what an herb does, or you think you don't understand why using graveyard dirt isn't black magic, say for example, and you want to ask a question about that, then you could ask that question, and because you don't know it, and don't pretend that you do. You know, don't pretend you know something that you don't know. That is wisdom, and that's being humble, and that's being teachable, and that's a cool thing, because you will learn a lot. And again, as you go through and start to find out what your gifts are and what you're interested in and things like that, you'll know what you start having questions about. So don't feel like ignorance is a negative word, because it absolutely is not. The thing to ask yourself is, what lesson must I learn here? And that's one of the things that is in the book about this card. Basically, you can kind of dig down deeper, you can meditate, you can think about it, think about your path, and then usually the lesson's just right in front of you, and that's happened to me a million times. I've just slammed into it like a brick wall and flattened my nose, which is generally how I learn things. So basically, just be gentle with yourself. Don't feel bad if you have questions. Don't feel bad if a spell doesn't work. Don't feel bad if you didn't notice something right away. Maybe you're supposed to work with Fey magic, and they've been trying to get your attention and you just haven't noticed. Don't feel bad about that. Maybe an animal totem has been trying to get your attention and you haven't noticed. Don't feel bad about that. Just keep moving on and keep learning. And as I'm saying these things, I'm talking to myself as well. I want you guys to understand that. I'm very hard on myself, extremely hard on myself. So if I miss something or I don't do something right, I am extremely hard on myself, because I'm a perfectionist and I don't want other people to be the same way. So that is the Novice. I kind of like this card, honestly. I mean, there's a lot going on in the card, that we could look at it and kind of think about what's going on the outer edges of the card. The Four Queens talks about that. She does a lot of tarot work and oracle work. Tells you, you just have to go to her channel. I'm ruining everything that she does in 3 sentences. So anyway, this is this card, and then I drew a second card to kind of go with it, because the Novice card to me just always seems to need something to go with it. So I drew the Cow. Now the Cow has to do with nourishment, and it says it right on it. Nourishment, abundance, asking, and receiving. Now, normally this card would be asking and receiving for generally abundance of wealth in your life. And the first thing people think of with wealth is money. I know I do. Like, money! And a lot of times that is what this card is for. Basically, with a cow, anybody that's been around cows, you know, they eat. If it's a dairy cow, they give you milk, and they poop, and then they eat, and they give you milk, and they poop, and they eat, and they get, it's just a constant cycle of you give them something, they give you something, you give them something, they give you something. So that's basically what this card is talking about, is ask and you'll receive. So what I saw when I pulled this card was kind of went with this card, is ask. If you have questions, if you have concerns, ask, and that wealth of knowledge is out there and it's constantly being fed. These witches, these pagans, these Wiccans that are out there, they're constantly being fed knowledge, because they sit down and they do spells and they read and they study, and it's a constant well of knowledge in each and every one of them. And so we're able to go to them and take from that well of knowledge, and then hopefully we are giving something in return by asking the question, maybe making them think differently, or something. We're giving something in return so that the cycle can continue. That's basically what this card is. It's a good card because it's a simple card, and it is a good card because if you do your part, the cow does their part happily, and you receive all the blessings that the cow offers. Now, this can also have a double meaning of maybe some prosperity coming into your life as well. I'm not saying it doesn't, but in this reading, that is not why this card came up, in my opinion. It just came up to reinforce asking questions and receiving answers, and getting that nourishment in your practice. And the nourishment, no matter what your practice is, there is someone out there that you can ask a question. If you have a specific question, there is someone out there that can answer it. And so that's what this card to me was, just a validation of that. So remember, when you're asking all these beautiful witches these questions, remember to say thank you. You know, remember to send them love. Remember to send them good energy. Remember to feed them. You know, it says in the book to remember to feed the soil. For the cow, it actually says that. Remember to, I think it was, till and feed the soil, so that the grass can come up very green, very healthy, and very strong, because you need that when you're feeding cattle. So they have lush coats, they have and they give the best milk. Otherwise it's just not as good. It's real thin. It's just not as good. So just remember that it's not all take. You want to be sending out good energies to them. If something happens and they need something, remember them in your prayers or your devotions, or light a candle, or whatever you do in your practice to till that soil so that grass can grow again, so that they're able to give their knowledge to the new witches. So that's my reading for today. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. And again, that reading was for all of us, including me, that are on a new pagan path, new witchy path. Or it could be for someone that maybe isn't, that might be a novice in another area, like maybe you've picked up Reiki or tarot or astrology, not astronomy, or astronomy, or anything. You know, just remember, don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Love yourself every single day, because Goddess wants you to do that. She loves you. Love yourself every single day. Do the best you can do, and get up the next day and do the best you can do. And that is it. Much love, many blessings, and blessed be. Thank you, guys.